Hey guys, this is Dave with Moneyology.com. Today is Wednesday, August 30th, 2017, and this is the second part of the precious metals review series that we're doing here on Moneyology. We're looking at one of the hottest sectors in the market, in gold and silver sector that's breaking out of their long-term downtrend, and it's retested from the upside. This breakout, and it's finally breaking out above with gold above the 1300 level. And so there are a lot of great opportunities, and we're just going through our watch list, which has well over 200 names, and pointing out some of the hottest picks in the sector. We're doing this in alphabetical order, and so there's no particular one stock that's better than the other, but just want to show you some of the charts we're looking at for our investment purposes. Okay, so we'll start with the GDX, the gold miner, the majors, and what you see here is a long-term weekly wedge here that we've broken out above to the upside. And one of the reasons why we were so confident that this was going to happen is RSI broke out to the upside long before price action did, and so now we're consolidating right below the 200 EMA of 2437. But we think that that's going to break to the upside, whether this week or next. It's just a matter of time. And for longer term traders that aren't in this particular name, you want to look at 25 as a breakout point. But at some point, we believe that 3170 level is going to be tested this year. A lot of great names in the major and minor space. We'll take a look at some in this watch list here. Gold Standard Ventures, the first on this list, GSV. It's been basically in a bullish flag consolidation here since middle of 2016. We're right above that 150 level. We've been basing here for the large majority of this year, and but we've been basing double bottom while building pretty substantial divergence, positive divergence. We're right below the 50 level on the weekly RSI, and so if you own it, great, it's building momentum. It should do well. If you don't own it, you should consider getting in around that 190 level. That's pretty sizable resistance. But if it breaks out above this level, we should see a run towards $3. So there's some substantial upside here. The downside is relatively limited at 150. Next on the list is Golden Star Resources, one that we've posted on quite a bit, GSS. Beautiful basing pattern for the last 2 years, and now this beautiful hammer pattern. MACDs are starting to break above zero, and frankly they're already just above zero, and they're already at one of their highest points in 2 years. And it's right above that upper band of the Bollinger, and it was squeezed pretty tight. And one of our rules is that once Bollinger bands are squeezed tight, there is going to be a break to one break to the upside or to the downside, and there at that point you want to look at what RSI is doing. What we see here is that RSI was building momentum, and now it's broken firmly above the 50 on the weekly RSI. Might retest it from the upside, but ultimately this is going to test $1 in the coming weeks ahead. So a lot of upside with Golden Star. Gold mining, one that we own. We like it on a fundamental basis, but on a technical one, it looks really good as well. Broken out above this downtrend, and now it's consolidating here above this downtrend, and consolidating right below that 50 on the weekly RSI. Should a break above it, probably coincides with that 140, 150 level. We ultimately think that 250 is going to be tagged at some point this year, so some significant upside. The Bollinger Band is squeezed as just about as tight as you can possibly squeeze, so the move will be explosive when it does occur, hopefully sooner rather than later, but we'll be patient. We'll be adding on any weakness. Great Panther Silver, GPL, one that we like here as well. It's broken out of this bullish flag pattern here after building a very beautiful picture-perfect cup and handle. Bullish flag, breakout, retest, another bullish flag, basing pattern as it's broken out of that flag formation, and it's basing right below that 140 level, and all the while building very nice positive RSI divergence, which is consolidating right below the 50 level. We think that this is going to tag 220 at some point this year, and so with MACDs now firmly above zero, there's some substantial upside in GPL. GUG Resources, GUG.V, one of those that doesn't trade on the U.S. exchange to my knowledge, but one that we posted about before because it just had beautiful technical action, kind of a cup and handle here, or nice rounding base, followed by a basing pattern right above that breakout zone, and all the while building very positive RSI divergence, and then boom. It's at 11.50 right now on the Canadian. Wouldn't be surprised to see 20 cents in the coming weeks ahead. So some significant upside in the short run, but from a fundamental standpoint, there seems to be something going on here, very positive development. So do your due diligence, but this is a name that if you can own it, definitely you might want to consider. HudBay Minerals, we've been very high on this one since about $5, since it broke out of this downtrend. We've posted multiple times on StockTwits. It hit our first long-term price target around 19, or rather 9. It's pulled back a bit, but once this breaks above 9, boy, this can go so much higher. There's no telling. So for those who want a more conservative play in the precious metal space, this is one that is definitely has some of the best momentum in the sector. Iamgold, another one we've been very bullish on since we saw this positive positive divergence and breakout on the RSI above 60. We hopped on this above $5, and it's only gone up from there. Just broke out above this multiple top at 6, and our price target is 8. Our first price target having been hit at $6, but $8 followed by $11. Significant upside in Iamgold with very, very good risk reward. Stop loss below 6 and upside 8 and $11 a share. We believe both points will probably be hit at some point this year. Impala Platinum, IMPUY, just like many other platinum names in the sector, Anglo-American, Sibiani Gold, and Platinum, and even PLG, believe it or not, that's been a name that's been down in the dumps, but it too is showing some strength. We're not covering those in this particular analysis, but one here that once this broke above $3, this became a buy. Short-term target of 4, but look at this. RSI has really broken out and is leading price, and so we think that there's a substantial upside in this particular stock, and possibly that 200 EMA of 619 will be tested at some point this year. International Tower Hill Mines, THM, one we've been very bullish on. We've had this covered in multiple videos in the past, but this beautiful breakout of this downtrend, and now it's consolidated above that 50 marker here. Now it's finally breaking out as we expected, as we broke out above this 50 level on the RSI. Our first price target was 75. We think that's going to be tagged in short order, followed by a test of the 200 EMA at 91, and we believe 150 will be tested at some point this year as well. Kinross Gold, KGC, one that appears to be ready to break out above that 450 level and make a run towards 6. You notice that RSI is poking above that resistance level around that 60 level. So once 450 is taken out, have your eye out for $6 a share. Kirkland Lake Gold, KL. What can I say aside from whatever these management deserves a raise, because this stock has just been doing nothing short of going up basically every single week in the last couple of months on very high volume. Don't know what's going on with the fundamentals, but money flow is going higher without almost every single month. Accumulation is picking up even as we're basically at all-time highs to our knowledge. So don't know how far this is going. That's where you do your fundamental due diligence, but look at I just want to point out a chart that's just been an absolute beauty. London Gold. London family is very, very well known in the precious metal space, and they've got these two OTC names that are just looking really nice from fundamental, technical basis. It's been in this basing bullish flag pattern for the last 2 years between basically $3.50 and $5, and now it's starting to build some significant momentum. Broke out of this downtrend that we've seen since we hit a high of 480, low of 358, but it's right below that 50 on the weekly RSI, and we think that now is getting the stage to certainly test that 480 again, but we think that this time around it's going to break out to the upside, so some very nice price action could be in store. London Mining Corp, LUNMF, another one of their family-owned stocks. Look at this. This is just beautiful. Almost every single week, it's been testing the upper bounds of the Bollinger Band. Once it broke out of the 650 area, that's why we've had this very nice run. It's hit our price target of around $8, so then we might consolidate here for a while. But a break above 8 is a surefire confirmation that we're going to have even another leg higher in this one. Finally on the list for this particular part 2 is McEwen Mining, MUX, another one that's run by a very, very well-respected manager and Rob McEwen. It's right above the 200 EMA right below the 200 EMA of 260, and coinciding with that middle Bollinger Band of 263. So some resistance there. So no surprise that we've pulled back after breaking above it around 273 this week. Would like to see it close above both points, but bottom line is this one has some significant upside in the months ahead. Circled here that this appears to be ready to break above zero. The cash money flow is moving in a positive direction, and we think that $5 will be hit at some point this year. Guys, thanks for watching part 2 of the precious metals review. Stay tuned for parts 3, 4, and 5, very likely this week or early part of next week. Feel free to let us know if there are any other names you want us to cover and to consider that we haven't reviewed so far. But thanks for your support. Please do subscribe on our YouTube channel at Moneyology, and do follow us on StockTwits and Twitter, and share. And thanks again for your support. Have yourself a great rest of the week.